All right, what's going on, everybody? I want to say thank you for coming to Boys Against NATO, checking out our page and following our page, liking our page, subscribing to our page, commenting on it, right? It's all a big help, and we're all extremely appreciative for it. So I just want to say thank you very much, and all three of us do from the bottom of our monkey hearts. So we're all 03, so it's not really about money for us. It's just a matter of like mental motivation and all kinds of other things. You guys are, everybody that supports us or just interacts with us, you guys are the best, man. It makes it a very fun experience, and it makes it a little bit easier to do things like this whenever we can see that, one, we're either helping somebody, or two, someone's having fun with us, right? Or, you know, just a multitude of things. I just want to say thank you. So today we're going to talk about the Haley Strategic Thorax, which first off, let me say thank you again, as an excuse to drink my bourbon. But we're going to talk about the Haley Strategic Thorax. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, too long don't read if you don't have enough time for the video. This carrier is not revolutionary. It's not meant to be, I don't think. And I don't think it's meant to be a game changer. I think what it is, it's a great adaptation to what has been used on the market for dynamic environments, real world situations. And they've kind of just tweaked it a little bit compared to other things on the market, and they've added their own little flair to it and things that as the end user I really appreciate. I don't think that everybody is going to say that they need something like this, because some people just want to hold plates or some people want to run things slick, yada yada yada. But for someone that expects to have a full combat loadout on their kit at all times, I like it a lot. Okay, and actually all three of us here do, but we'll get into that in a different video about the other guys' opinions, because we'll do a comparison amongst this and some other carriers. So that's the too long don't read. The one con that I have to this, if you see me look off, it's because I'm checking my notes. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong thing, and I want to make sure I don't gloss over anything, because I can't memorize all of it. So cost is the only huge negative, or only real negative that I can see. For me, it's for the front and rear plate bag, shoulder pads, and the basic option for cummerbunds, the chicken straps. You're looking at $409 before shipping and theft. If you add the triple mag shingle right here, right, which obviously I don't have because I have the HRT Maximus, and I really like that. Now you're looking at $500 before shipping and theft. So is it worth it? That's up to you as the buyer. To me, it is, because I am willing to pay for something that I would use in an environment where the Second Amendment is being called on for its intended purpose. And I'll just leave you with this. Benjamin Franklin said, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. So there's that. But yeah, so it is expensive, okay? Now I will say they're not the only carrier on the market or only company on the market that is pricing things a little bit proudly off of their name. I do believe they could bring the cost down without having to change anything in terms of quality materials and design features. So first thing I want to say as a pro, I'm going to say it's adaptable, user configurable, and scalable. And what I mean by that is, obviously you can put a full combat load on it, and hell, I could throw even way more shit on here if I wanted to. And it's actually designed to have more than that. As you can see, you've got built-in cable management right here, which is under this clip, right? Which I will also add, right? You could use a hose going through there or anything. Now, what I've chosen to use these, I'm just going to call it, you know, straps. The straps going down, I can attach these female buckles right here, and that means that if I have like a jack pack on, which from Javelin Concepts, check it out, I can attach that to there, and then now all of a sudden I've got a pack that doesn't add extra straps to different parts of my shoulders. It actually distributes it more evenly. Now I can just attach it to there, and now I can get it off, and I can put it back on while still wearing the carrier. I don't have to ask somebody to get it out for me. Hell, even if you just want to use it for a hydration pouch, I mean, there you go, and you ain't got to ask your boy, hey, can you get this out for me, bro? Stupid shit like that. So I enjoy that little feature. The actual pads themselves, you can run cables and all kinds of other things under them. You've got built-in, sewed-in 550 cord here on the back going vertically on the left and right of the rear plate bag. I haven't found a reason to need that yet. Okay, I can't think of anything I did as an 0311 that I could have used that for, but I'm sure that there's a reason for it, and according to a couple people that I've talked to that are very trusted in a real world environment, they have told me that they can think of a couple different things that they would use it for. So I trust their opinion. I'm sure it's there for a reason. And I mean, and you can, we'll roll in pictures, but when you look at it, you can tell, I mean, all the stitching on here, I'll go ahead and hit on that. all of the stitching on here is absolutely phenomenal. I been running this thing in multiple classes, multiple fucking dynamic environments, and for quite a bit of long time, and all the stitching is still holding up. I mean, it looks the same way that it did whenever I got it. So there's that. The cummerbund, the standard option, the chicken straps, I was initially worried about them because they're 1.5 inches, 2 inches, whatever. They're small, but they're, you know, they're the same material and the same thing as the belt from what I understand. I don't have experience with the belt, but what I can say is this. I was worried about them being rigid and them being smaller in surface space, right? Now, what I found is, though, I don't see it as a problem because I think that the added rigidity makes up for what the cummerbunds don't have in size. There has been yet any period of time to where these cummerbunds didn't feel secure on my body and that they didn't bring the carrier in tight to me. Or to where I felt like anything I put on them was making them kind of come outwards, if that makes sense. So I'm a big fan of those two. And obviously you've got MOLLE all across them, so you can attach whatever you need to on there. The way they attach is you just pull this flap up from the bottom where the rear plate bag is, and you pull it up and then you Velcro it. So it's real simple to attach too. If it was my choice, I would add a recommendation to them. If you make another gin, I would add just a little bit more Velcro to the part that actually connects here in the back, because it is rather short, but it is strong. The Velcro on here has worked, and we've had it in very, like I said, you know, shitty East Coast swampy weather, and it's still held up. So there's that. Let's see. I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to say right now, if oh yeah, you got these right here. So what you can't see right here is you've got the built-in little buckles right here, and you can't see them, which I think is just a nice little visual feature. But I also noticed that without having the buckle there, I mean, it's just a nice feature because it gets things out of the way. It creates less of a snag hazard, X, Y, and Z. But that's another thing that you can do with the scalability of it. And so you can put whatever placard or chest rig, shit like that. Shout out to Brass Facts. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely scalable and configurable. You'll notice right here in the front, you got the MOLLE and the Velcro. You can put your Cool Guy patches on there like I did. Shout out my boy Colton that sent me that. I don't like personally running a pouch up here. I could see running a kill switch up here, but a pouch I don't like putting up there because it typically gets in the way of me trying to get into my workspace whenever I'm trying to pull something out, specifically reloads. So I don't put nothing there, but if you want to, hey, go ahead. It obviously supports you know, things like danglers. You can put, you know, smoke pouches on here wherever the hell you want. I've got a wing adapter from Chase Tactical right here that's holding a IWA smoke, which we have a video coming out on those. So you can do a lot with this carrier. There's a lot of built-in cable management. You can actually order extra cable management that will go into these chicken straps or whatever cummerbund they have, and kind of take care of that, or hose, whatever you want to do. But that's the thing with a carrier like this, you can always scale it down. If you buy a carrier that was meant to be slick, you cannot always as well scale it up. So that's just something to think about. And like I said, we kind of look at things from a combat standpoint, and that's kind of how we judge things. So it's nothing against other carriers like that. It's just we look at things like, hey, this things are going to be used in a war zone. That's how we try to look at things. Let's see. I want to go ahead and talk about the comfortability of it. It's extremely comfortable to me. You can tell whenever you're wearing it. We've had it with pack, we've had it without packs, we've had it for prolonged periods, we've had it in classes, like I've said before, and I think the angle of the way the shoulder straps is, and I think with the shoulder pads, which to me are a necessity, I'll get into why here in a second, I don't have a problem wearing this. The plates that we have in here are level 4s. They are the RMA 1155, so they're not the lightest plates in the world. But they're definitely something good to test if you're trying to see how comfortable your carrier is. And this carrier has definitely held up, you know, on our shoulders and whatnot. And we all actually agree it's a very comfortable carrier. Now, something that I do wish, if I miss anything, by the way, we'll edit it in the video. Something that I do wish that they would kind of do different is my bad, skinwalkers making noises in and outside of my house. The way that the plates go in, they're not the only company to do this, but the way that the plates go in, they don't have a full match up to what your plate is, because there's not just a massive amount of Velcro adjustment. So you might have a little bit that kind of comes out a little bit, or it might go up, but the Velcro is not completely attached. And to me, that's just annoying, but it happens in every plate carrier that I see, except for the Javelin Concepts A-Jack or B-Jack, and that's because they load from the top, and I'll get into that in our video that we have on that coming up. So, going back to the shoulder pads though, if you have this slick, it might not be a problem to not have them, but if you're putting any kind of weight on here, the straps are pretty thin and pretty I don't know, I guess thin width wise and thin, you know, thickness wise, whatever, monkey. So it's not very comfortable without these if you have weight on it. So for us, we say these are a necessity. You've got these, I don't know if you want to call them heat guards or airways, whatever you want to call them, but in the middle of the front and in the middle on the back bag, you've got these little slots that are supposed to create an airway. Now, something that I think is important, when you're in an actual dynamic environment for sustained amounts of time, the only time you're going to feel cool wearing this carrier or wearing any carrier is when you take the motherfucker off. You're going to be hot working in a carrier regardless what carrier it is. So I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just saying that's never really been something on my mind that I worry about, because the fact that I know for a fact I'm going to get hot in it. So just something to think about. I'm sure they work, and they are comfortable because it's like extra little padding right there, honestly, and it is nice. But that's kind of a neutral for me, I guess, so I add a neutral on there. But for some people that might be a big deal. Obviously you can see that it is not laser cut. It is traditional moly with bar tacking for reinforcement. For some people, they're like, hey, I want laser cut, and other people are like, hey, I just want this. We're pretty gray about a lot of shit. We understand the pros and cons to both. I think the pro to this is I can drag you, I can buddy drag you and get you to a location and not worry about your shoulder straps coming off or worrying about a pouch coming off because, the moly ripped, or you needing a new carrier by the time you get to where I'm dragging you. Or if you fall, or if you're having to low crawl or something, you have confidence that this carrier is going to hold up, and my confidence has been reinforced because of the fact that I know it will. So there's that. Let's see, the stitching, you can look at the stitching on all this, and again, if I already hit on this, sorry. The stitching on this, shout out to Brass Facts. If you look at it, it is pristine. I mean, it is quality everywhere, and just to hit on it again, because it's a big plus for us. We really like it. Oh no! Something fell, gun related. What shall I ever do? Don't tell the FUDs, man. Here, we'll just leave it right there. Tried to make it look all pretty for y'all. Aesthetics. I'll just tell you right now, I like the way it looks. I wish it would have came in a different color when I ordered it. I wanted Ranger Green, but it wasn't in stock, and that's fine. I was going to take gray over black, and I was definitely going to take gray over tan, considering how long I wore tan. So, gray works, but yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and hit the conclusion because I don't want to go too deep into stuff. If you like really in-depth things about soft goods, I would say EOD Fish is probably one of the best guys to check out. EOD Fish, Thin Line Defense Co., a couple others. Grand Thumb, when he was doing plate carrier reviews. I haven't seen him do one in a while. Administrative Results has a video on this. I mean, there's a lot of videos out there, and we're monkeys, so we'll recommend you to people that do it better than us. But yeah, our conclusion, it's not a game changer, it's not revolutionary, and it's not really meant to be. It's just an adaptation of a product that has been used in those kind of environments for a very long time, with a couple different tweaks and bonuses to make your experience better. And in our thought process, the better a product can perform for someone in that kind of environment, the better that operator or that solo dude or that fucking team guy or the team in general is going to perform. They're going to perform better because their gear is working with them. It's complementing their skills rather than them having to work around things. And the Gen 2 plate carrier, for example, which I think this draws a lot of influence from, the Gen 2 plate carrier from the Marine Corps, I specifically see a lot of influence from. it worked really well, but a lot of times I was working around it and trying to force it to work with me rather than it complementing my skill sets. And I think that this carrier in that kind of environment is complementing your skill sets. I mean, like I said, we all look at our stuff from a combat mindset, which means that you're probably going to need a full combat loadout at all times. I mean, we're not direct action guys. We're all prior 03s. So that's kind of how we look at stuff. And that's why we recommend it, because it's definitely something that is going to succeed in that goal, and it's going to provide you with everything that you need and more. So again, the one con being cost. If you can wade by that, definitely recommend it. It's a quality carrier. If anything changes, of course, we'll let you know, but I don't see anything that will change on it, and we definitely recommend it to you, the viewer, if you're a hard use guy. So God bless you guys. Thanks for checking out the page. Thanks for dealing with our autism. And yeah, again, God bless you guys. If it's not made in Kentucky, it's not real bourbon.